Hi everyone, thanks for checking out this lesson of Leonard Cohen by boygenius. This song is not in standard tuning, it's actually an open D major. So what that means is the 6th string, we're going to tune down to a D. 5th string, we're going to leave it the same. The 4th string is the same, it's a D as well. So we've got D, A, D. The 3rd string, we're going to tune down from a G to an F sharp, because that's the third, major third in a D major chord. The 2nd string, we're going to tune down from a B to an A, because that's the 5th of a D major chord. And this higher string, we're going to tune down to a D as well. So we've got 3 Ds in this tuning: 6th string, 4th string, 1st string. We have 2 A's. 5th string, 2nd string, we have 1 F sharp, which is the 3rd string. So when you strum everything, it creates a nice D major chord. Okay, so actually this song, although it's a different tuning and there's lots of chord changes, the chords that we're using are actually very simple. They're essentially a power chord. Now you can either use your first 3 fingers to play these, or you can not use your first finger and use your 2nd, 3rd and 4th finger to play these. And all we're doing is playing the top 3, the lowest 3 strings, 6th, 5th and 4th string, and strumming maybe the 2nd and 3rd string as well. I can't really hear much of this 1st string being played in the song. So the chords. There are a couple of repeated phrases, but there doesn't seem to be a massive amount of cohesion between the different chord progressions in here and the different lengths of the verses. So there's really like 3 verses going on. Okay, so if you sign up to the Patreon and get the chord charts, you'll notice that they've got all the extensions on the chords, and that is because of these open 2 strings. They change each one of the chords. Obviously when you play them on their own, it creates a D major chord, but if you add the chord up here, which really would be your kind of E minor chord, when you add the next 2 notes on here, you've got the F sharp here, which is really a 2 or a 9 for the E minor chord, right? And then you also have a D, right? The high D on top of the E, which is a flat 7. So really, that's an E minor 9 chord. Now you'll get all these different extensions on the chords, but what you can do is really just play along with the chords without the extensions. So you can just play a D. If you wanted to play in standard tuning, you could just play an E minor, a D major, a G major, an A major. You don't have to play like the G major 9s or the E minor 9s and so on. You can just strip them down to their triads, and to figure out what the triads are, if you just wrote out the key of D major, so it'd be D major, E minor, F sharp minor, G major, A major or A dominant 7, B minor, C sharp, half diminished, and then D. So you could write those out and then just assign them to the right chords on the chart. Okay, so let's start off. First, actually, let's look at the strumming pattern, because it's the same the entire way through, except from in the 3rd chorus, where we have 2 bars of slightly different strumming. What we're doing is, well, I'll play it first. It's going to sound like this. Speed it up. 1, 2, 3 and 4 and 1, 2, 3 and 4 and 1, 2, 3 and 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4 and. So we're playing on the 1 and the 2, which are downstrokes. 1, 2. You're going to miss the 3, but you're going to play the and of 3, which is an upstroke. The 4, which is a downstroke, and the and of 4, which is an upstroke. So really you're going down, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up. 1, 2, 3, and 4, and. So it sounds a bit like this. Alright, you might recognize it now. So, as I said before, I can't really hear too much of this the D string now being played, but you can absolutely include it if you want to. When I hear it, I just hear, you know, the top half of the guitar really being played, so maybe like the second and third string as well. Okay, first verse, we have our E minor chord, or E minor 9 chord, which is the 2nd fret. Now remember I said all of these chords, except with one exception, are going to be 3 notes in a row on the 6th, 5th and 4th string, just being moved about. So the E is now the 2nd fret because obviously D is 0 fret. We have the E, which is 2, 2, 2. Again, you can use any combination of fingers you want to. 2 bars, go up to a G, which is now the 5th fret. Alright, I'm not going to read out every single string for these because it's exactly the same. It's the top, the bottom 3 strings, 6, 5 and 4 strings. So we have E minor, to a G major, to an A major, 7th fret, back to the G major, which is the 5th fret. Then we go to a D, which is in the open chord. Then an F sharp, 4th fret. Then down to an E, 2nd fret. Up to an A, 2 bars here. Down to a G, 5th fret. 2 bars, and then 2 bars in the F sharp, 4th fret. And 2 bars on the D chord. I realise that's really quickly ran through, but what I would suggest doing is maybe just writing, if you don't want to subscribe to the Patreon, writing out these chords on a bit of paper just so you can get the order of them. So we have 2 bars of each of these chords, E, G, A and G. And then we kind of repeat the phrase again, but instead of an E, it's a D. And then we have, that's 2 bars, and then we have 1 bar of each of these, F sharp to an E. So we've got D, 2nd bar, now 1 bar of F sharp on the 4th fret, 1 bar of the E, then to the A and G, like the first progression of the verse. And then we finish with F sharp. So I'm going to play it through one more time. I'm going to call out the chords and the fret numbers if I can do them both at the same time. This is the first verse. So E minor, 2nd fret, 2 bars, G major, 5th fret, A major, 7th fret, 2 bars, back to G. We're going to go to D now. Then we've got 1 bars coming up, so F sharp, 4th fret. Then the E, quick change, back to A, 2 bars, then to G, then to F sharp minor, 4th fret, then to D. Okay, as I said, there's not a massive amount of cohesion between these chords. As in like repetitions, there's a couple of little phrases that are repeated, like 2 or 3, 4 bar things that are repeated, but you know, when you look at the chord sheet, it's just continually different. So, alright, 2nd verse. Things kind of speed up a little bit here, meaning that we change chords nearly every bar for some of these. So we're going to start back at E minor again, 1 bar, up to F sharp, 4th fret, up to A, 7th fret, down to G, 5th fret, down to E, 2nd fret. Now we're going to play 3 bars on this one, 2, 3. Now to F sharp again, 1 bar, up to A. Now here, we're actually going to be playing 2 chords in 1 bar, G to F sharp in 1 bar, and then back to G. So that would sound like, okay, and then we go back to the F sharp, back to the E minor, up to the A and G into one bar, to D, 2 bars, F sharp minor, 1 bar, E minor, 1 bar, 2nd fret, A major and G in 1 bar, back to D for 4 bars. Okay, that is the second verse. So one thing I guess we can look at is there are a couple of times where we play 2 chords in 1 bar. So that would be the G and the F sharp and the A and the G. So let's go from like the A, go from the A major to the G to the F sharp. So it's 2 in 1 bar, and the same with the A and the G. Okay, the last chorus where she sings about Leonard Cohen being a monk. So again, there are a lot of 1 bar chords here, so lots of quick changes. We start on the A major, go on the 7th fret, down to the G on the 5th fret, down to the F sharp minor on the 4th fret, down to the D open strings. Now this part repeats, so again A, mid cohesion, G major, on the 5th, F sharp on the 4th, open D. Now here this is where the strumming pattern changes. We're going to be playing straight 8th notes, but we're going to do 3 strums, a down, up, down on each one of these chords continually. So I'm going to play you what it sounds like and play what it is, and then I'll explain how we do it. So it goes like this. One more time. Okay, so that's 3 strums on the A major. Down, up, down. Right, and then we're going to change. This is where it comes in handy using this fingering. Actually, well, you could do it the other way as well. So it's going to be 7, 7, 7 for the A. Then we're going to go A over G sharp. Right, or really it's kind of an A major 7 if you really want it that way instead. So we're going to be playing 6, 7, 7 3 times. So A major, 1, 2, 3, A over G, 3, and there's no gap between this strumming. It's down, up, down, up, down, up, down to the G, down, up, down to the F sharp minor, up, down, up, and then it's 2 downs on the E, 1, 2. And then the usual strumming resumes on the D major. So A over G, G, F sharp, 2 on the E minor, D. Now if we've got 2 bars of the D, we go to the A6 on the 7th fret. G for 1 bar, and then 2 bars of D. And then we go to the 4th fret, F sharp minor, 2 bars, 1 bar of D, 1 bar of E minor, 2nd fret, 2 bars of the A on the 7th fret, 1 bar of D, 1 bar of E minor, 2nd fret, 2 bars of A, 2 bars of G, 5th fret. To the end now, 2 bars of E minor on the 2nd fret, 2 bars of D, and then we finish with 1 down strum on the D. So I'm going to play through that last verse again. I'm going to call out the chords, probably not the frets this time because there's a lot of changes going on. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, A, G, F sharp minor, D major, A6, this part repeats, G F sharp minor, D. Here's a quick part. A of a G. Sorry, I think I played that wrong. A of a G, D, F sharp, E minor, D, D. Back to A, to G, to D, 2 bars. F sharp minor, 2 bars. To a D, to an E minor, to an A, 2 bars, to a D, sorry, to an E minor, to an A again, 2 bars of G, 2 bars of E minor, 2 bars of D. And we finish on that one strum. Okay, I realise this is a difficult song to follow with just the sheer amount of chord changes and I guess lack of continuity. I think it just follows the melody and the voice. And so yes, if you want to have the chord charts, please head over to Patreon. There's chord charts and tabs. If you haven't already, please subscribe, like, and leave any comments with questions if you have any. And if you want to watch the playthrough of this, please head back to the video that we uploaded before. I also just want to say a massive thank you for the gold subscription members at Patreon, Ashley Edwards and Waffleman, great name. Thanks very much for the support.